It is 8 p.m. on a Friday. Your phone pings with a "Where are you?" text, and your stomach sinks. Not because you are sad, but because you are already exactly where you want to be. Most people call this missing out. But according to modern psychology, what you are actually doing is a sophisticated form of neurological maintenance that 90% of the population is too overstimulated to understand. Today, we are going to stop apologizing for staying home and look at the science of why your solitude is actually your greatest strength. We have analyzed thousands of hours of research on introvert psychology, sensory sensitivity, and optimal arousal theory to understand why some of us don't just like being home, we actually need it to function. There is a quiet preference many people carry but rarely say out loud. It is not that you hate people or that you have bad social behavior. It is simply that your nervous system is wired for a different baseline of input. For years, society has treated the homebody preference like a flaw or a sign of laziness. We are told to get out more, expand our comfort zone, and join the crowd. But what if we told you that your craving to be home is actually a sign of high self-awareness and emotional intelligence? It is time to reframe the narrative. Staying home is not a retreat from life. For the high-performance individual, it is a competitive advantage. To understand why, we have to look at the brain psychology. Scans show that individuals who prefer solitude process stimuli through longer neural pathways, specifically in areas tied to internal thought. While an extrovert might process information through shorter routes tied to external rewards, your system runs on different circuitry. Your brain does not require constant noise to feel satisfied because it generates contentment internally. This is what psychologists call high internal self-presence. This leads us to what we call the autonomy advantage. In the outside world, you are constantly fighting against an imposed structure. Someone else decides the volume, the lighting, and the tempo. For a personality trait that functions best when it manages itself, this feels like a constant override of your operating system. Home comfort offers the one environment where you control the variables. This is not about being difficult. It is about protecting your internal rhythm so you can maintain a peace of mind that is impossible in a chaotic environment. There is also a spiritual and psychological necessity we call the mask-off effect. Out in the world, we all perform. We manage our facial expressions and our social energy. This performance costs expensive biological currency. At home, you are in a low-stimulation environment where you can finally stop scanning for social cues. When the door closes, your fragmented social identity becomes whole again. Your body stops producing cortisol because there is no need to defend or perform. That is where real healing and mental health restoration begin. But here is where we have to be honest with ourselves. There is a fine line between peace and isolation. We need to ask, are you staying home because it nourishes you or because leaving feels too heavy? One is rest, which is a reset. The other is retreat, which is driven by fear. Solitude is a powerful laboratory for the mind. But stay in the silence too long without intentional movement, and that sanctuary can slowly turn into a cage. This brings us to a unique concept often missed in lifestyle psychology, the choice of stability over novelty. Our culture romanticizes the novelty seeker, but many high achievers find that their reward system is wired for consistency. Stability is not stagnation. Routine psychology proves that structure creates the mental space for long-term progress. Real growth happens in the unglamorous middle, and the home provides the perfect incubator for that compound growth. Think of your social energy as a limited currency. You are not rejecting people. You are practicing resource management. You are choosing to spend your currency where quality beats quantity. One real deep conversation satisfies more than 10 shallow exchanges. This is not being antisocial. It is being energetically intelligent. You are protecting your attention from constant fragmentation. We are entering an era where the ability to sit alone in a room and process raw thought is the most valuable skill in the economy. In a world of infinite distraction, the high-performance homebody has a secret weapon. While the rest of the world is burning out chasing noise, you are using your space for deep work and neurological maintenance. Your home is not a place to hide. It is the laboratory where you become the version of yourself that the world actually needs. The goal is not to get out more just to prove you are okay. The goal is to bring the quiet power you find in your living room out into the noise of the world when you choose to. You do not need to be louder to be seen. You just need to be rooted. So the next time you feel that pressure to join the rush, ask yourself, what does my nervous system actually need right now? If the answer is stillness, take it without guilt. Your solitude is not a deficit. It is the foundation of your strength. You are not missing out on life. You are finally tuning into your own. To make sure you don't miss our next deep dive, make sure you're subscribed. In the meantime, watch this video right here. I'll see you in the next one.